Now, how do you work out compound proportion using the ratio method? This is also not new. In mathematics, a simple proportion compares two quantities, but in real life, we often compare the situation using the same variables. So these are compound proportion. But remember, compound proportion is about equal ratios. Compound proportion is about equal ratios. So anytime we talk about compound proportions, you should always think of equal ratios. Equal ratios. So if I say that in number A, B, and C, if I have these numbers here, A, B, C, and D, and I say that these numbers are in compound proportions. If I say that numbers are in compound proportions, what I mean is that the numbers are equal. Yeah, they have like the ratios are equal. Am I making sense? The key idea here is that in compound proportion, two ratios are equal. The key idea in compound proportion is that the two ratios are equal. So let's see A, B, C, and D. If I say that they are in compound proportions, A over B will be equal to C over D. Yeah, if they are in compound proportions, A over B will be equal to C over D. And if I change them, like if I start with B, and they say like maybe B over A. If I say B over A, I'll do the same on the other side. I will equate it to D over C. I'll equate it to D over C because the key idea in compound proportion is that two ratios are equal. So in this case, let's focus mainly on this case here. In this case here, A and D, this A and D here, this A and D, this A and D are called extremes. This A and D are extremes, and B and C are what we call the means. B and C are called the means. Okay. These vocabularies are not that necessary. What you need to know is that the key idea in compound proportion is that the two ratios are equal. The two ratios are equal. So if you have A, B, C, and D, and then you divide A and B, you should be dividing C and D to equate them. If you decide to divide B over A, then you should do the same on the other side, and that we will have D over C to make them proportional. You need to make them equal ratios. So let's look at the first example. If you are asked to find the value of x to make 5, 15, 12, and x to be proportion, and find the value of x to make 5, 15, 12, and x to be in proportion. This is so easy, just have to divide and equate them. Like if I divide 5 and 15, like now 5 divided by 15, I just equate them to be proportion. To be proportion means that the two ratios should be equal. So 5 divided by 15 should be equal to 12 divided by x. So if you cross multiply, you have 5 times x, which will be 5x. This is 5x, and then it will be 15 times 12. You can eliminate this 5, so you have x, and you eliminate it here, so that you have 3. So 3 times 12 will be, that's 6. And what about if you decide to divide by 15 here, you'll divide by 12. So if you decide to divide 15 and 5 here, you'll have to start by 12. No, not 12, start by x. If you start by this 15, you'll have to start by x. I mean, if you start by the second number, you start by the second number. If you start by the first, you should start by the first. So we started by the first, that was 5 over 15. So here, we also start by the first, which was 12 over 6. Now, if you decide to start by the second one, which is 15, you also start by the second one on the other side. So this 15 over 5 will be equal to x over 12. And we'll get the same answer. And we'll get the same answer. We just have here cross multiply. This will be 5x equals 15 times 12. 15 times 12. And we'll eliminate the 5. We'll have x. And we'll eliminate, this is 5 here, 1, and this is 5 here, is 3. So 3 times 12 is that 6. We'll still get the same answer. Still get the same answer. Let's consider example 2. Example 2, you can have applications. Application, what problems? Now, with that simple concept, here is our problem. In a village in Kericho, a farmer finds that the ratio of cows to goats is proportional to the ratio of sheep to chickens. If there are 12 cows, 18 goats, and Y sheep for every 30 chickens, find the value of Y that makes these numbers in proportion. So here we have ratio of cows to goats. We have cows to goats. Cows to goats is 12 to 18. 12 to 18. And then for Y sheep for every 30 chickens. Now we have sheep into chickens. That is Y to 30. That is the ratio of Y to 30. Now to make this one proportions, we just have to divide this. We have 12 to 18. we should equate them to make them proportional. So it's really equal to y over 30. So if we start by dividing the first numbers in the ratio, you have 12 over 18 equals, we also start by the first one here, equals y over 30. And this will be the same as when cross multiply. Let's cross multiply. We can simplify or cross multiply. Which one is easier? Let's cross multiply. This is 18y equals 12 times 30. 12 times 30. So our y will be 30, 12 times 30 all over 18. So our y will be, let's try to simplify. 6 can goes to 18 3 times. 6 can goes to here 5 times. And 3 can goes here 1, and 3 can go here 4 times. So 4 times 5 will be 20. So our y must be 20. For the ratio to be proportional, our y must be 20. Let's another one problem, for example 3. It's our one problem. In this case, we have a school in Mombasa that calculates the ratio of students to teachers on a trip. And then in this school, the ratio of students to teachers should be proportional to the ratio of the cost of food to the cost of transport. So the ratio of students to teachers, let's use S2 for students. So students to teachers, the ratio of students to teachers must be proportional to that of transport to the cost of food, proportional to the ratio of the cost of food to the cost of transport. So we can say food to transport, food to transport. Now we agreed that every time we're talking about proportionality in ratios, where we mean that the two ratios must be equal. So in this case, for the ratios to be proportional, we have to equate them. We say that the ratio of students to the ratio of teachers should be proportional to the ratio of food to the ratio of food to transport. Yeah, food to transport. Now let's find the student to teachers. Student to teachers is 40 to 4. It's 40 to 4. 40 to 4. And the food transport, food to transport is unknown. We have unknown. So our known can be y. Let's say it y. Unknown can be any letter, but I've just chosen y. So our known is y to 2,500. That's a transport cost. 2,500. Now, from here, it's so easy. If we start by dividing the first number in the ratio, we'll do the same on the other side by starting by the first number. If we decide to start by the second number, we'll do the same on the other side. So in this case, let's start by the first number on the ratio. This is the first number on the ratio on this side. This is the first number. The unknown is the first on this side. So we're going to have 40 divided by 4 is the same as y divided by 2,500. 5 by 2,500. We are going to cross multiply. You can cancel zeros and you can simplify if you want. but let's just go through it because we have calculators. So we are going to cross multiply 4 times y. We are going to have 4y equals 40. Cross multiply 40 times 2,500. 2,500. So for here we can eliminate 4. We can eliminate 4 to have y. So 4 here is 1 and 4 here is 10. So our y will be 10 times 2,500. So our y will be 25,000 Kenyan shillings. That's 25,000. So we can say our y is 25,000 Kenyan shillings. So it's so easy, like sort.